The revolver clicks. Just one sound in the desert silence, but it cuts through the air like a blade through skin. Lucas Mercer stands 10 feet from the woman, his arm extended, the gun steady in his hand, despite everything inside him shaking apart. Anya Proudfoot does not move, does not flinch, does not beg. She stares down the barrel of his weapon with the same eyes that have stared down cavalry soldiers, reservation agents, and 3 years of solitude that would have broken a weaker soul. The wind catches her black hair, pulls it across her face. She does not brush it away. "I'm sorry," Lucas says. His voice cracks on the second word. 41 years old, and his voice breaks like a child's. Sorry doesn't bring him back. I know. The gun trembles now. His finger rests against the trigger. 1 pound of pressure, maybe less. That's all it would take. That's all it has ever taken. Anya tilts her chin up. Proud, always proud. Then do it. You owe me that much. From inside the small adobe house behind her, a child's voice cuts through the moment, high and uncertain and afraid in the way only children can be when they sense the world shifting beneath their feet. "Mama, Mr. Lucas," both of them freeze. The gun does not lower. The woman does not turn. But something passes between them in that instant. Some recognition of the impossible situation they have created. Of the child who depends on both of them. Of the 3 days that brought them to this point. 3 days that changed everything. The screen goes black. White letters appear against the darkness. 2 weeks earlier, the Arizona Territory in late summer burns. Not with fire, though fire will come. It burns with heat that turns the sky white, that pulls moisture from every living thing, that cracks the earth into patterns like broken pottery. The San Pedro River, which has run through this valley for 10,000 years, has become a memory of itself. A trickle, a promise that will not be kept. From above, the land looks like the surface of some dying planet. Red earth, brown grass. 2 small ranches side by side, separated by a property line that means everything and nothing at all. One ranch belongs to a white man who never speaks to his neighbors. The other belongs to an Apache widow who has no neighbors willing to speak to her. Between them, the river dies. Lucas Mercer wakes to a sound he has learned to hate. Cattle calling for water. The low, desperate sound of thirst that cannot be satisfied. He lies in his bed for a long moment, staring at the ceiling beams he cut himself, noticing the way morning light finds the cracks between the boards. Everything has cracks now. Everything is coming apart. He rises, dresses, does not look at the trunk in the corner where his cavalry uniform waits in darkness. Does not look at the unopened letters stacked on the table, each one bearing the Army seal, each one a threat he cannot bring himself to read. Does not look at the bottle of whiskey he finished last night or the one he will start tonight. Instead, he walks to the well. The bucket drops. The rope runs through his hands. 30 feet down. 40. 50. When the bucket finally hits water, the sound is different than it was a month ago. Thinner, more reluctant. He pulls it up. 6 inches of murky water slosh in the bottom. Enough for coffee. Maybe enough for his horse. Not enough for 30 head of cattle. Not enough for anything that matters. He stands at the well, holding the bucket, watching the sun climb over the eastern hills. Somewhere in the back of his mind, a voice that sounds like his dead brother whispers the things he does not want to hear. That this land is a punishment, that he deserves to watch it die, that everything he touches turns to dust and blood and regret. Lucas pours water into a tin cup, drinks it. The water tastes like minerals and desperation. He has tasted worse. 2 miles south, across the invisible line that separates her land from his, Anya Proudfoot kneels beside what used to be a river. Her hands rest on the dry stones. Her lips move in words that her grandmother taught her. Apache prayers for rain, for forgiveness, for the strength to endure one more day in a world that wants her erased. The boy sits beside her. Ethan, 7 years old, half Apache, half the blood of men who killed his people. He does not know this yet. He knows only that his mother prays every morning and that the prayers are not answered. "Mama," he says, "will the river come back?" Anya opens her eyes, looks at her son, sees in his face the ghost of the man she loved and the shadow of the violence that created him. If we are strong enough to wait, what if we're not? She has no answer to this. Instead, she rises, takes his hand, and walks back to their home. Adobe walls, thatched roof. A structure built by hands that understood this land long before white men came with their papers and their promises and their guns. Inside, she keeps a rifle loaded by the door. Outside, she keeps a garden that is dying, inch by inch. The garden was her husband's idea. Proud Eagle believed that survival meant adaptation, that Apache people could learn to grow corn and beans like the Pueblo people to the north, that they could live beside white settlers without losing themselves. He died believing this. Anya tends his garden because she cannot tend his grave. They did not let her bury him. They left him where he fell. She checks the irrigation ditch. Dry. She checks the well. Almost dry. She checks the horizon for clouds. Clear. Ethan tugs at her dress. Are we going to leave like the others? No. Why not? Because this is our land. Because leaving is what they want. Because your father died, so we could stay. The boy accepts this. Children accept many things that adults cannot. He runs off to check the small pen where they keep 3 goats. Anya watches him go, watches the way he moves, quick, unafraid, still innocent enough to believe his mother can protect him from everything. She knows better. The sun climbs higher. The heat builds. Lucas saddles his horse, a roan gelding, with the patience of a saint and the sense to conserve energy in this weather. He rides the fence line of his property, checking posts, looking for breaks, looking if he is honest with himself for excuses to avoid the work that waits in the barn, the repairs that need making, the decisions that need deciding. He reaches the southern boundary of his land, the place where his property meets hers. He can see her house from here, small, neat, defiant in its continued existence. Smoke rises from the chimney. Someone is cooking. Someone is living a life over there while he merely survives. He has seen her before, at a distance. In town on the rare occasions when both of them make the 8-mile journey for supplies. He has seen the way people treat her, the way mothers pull their children close when she passes, the way shopkeepers serve her, last charge her most, make her pay for the crime of being Apache in a world that has decided Apache people should not exist. He has never spoken to her. What would he say? His horse shifts beneath him, restless, thirsty. Lucas turns back toward his own land, his own problems, his own guilt that sits in his chest like a stone. He does not see Anya watching him from her window, does not see the way she tracks his movements with the same attention she would give a wolf near her goats, does not see her hand rest on the rifle. She has learned to watch soldiers, even former soldiers, even soldiers who pretend they are ranchers now. By noon, the heat is murderous. Lucas works in his barn repairing tack that does not need repairing because the alternative is to sit still and think. Thinking is dangerous. Thinking brings back the memories he has spent 3 years trying to drown. Fort Huachuca, the orders, the village, the screaming. His hands shake. He sets down the leather strap he was working on, closes his eyes, counts to 10 in the way the army doctor taught him before they sent him home with discharge papers and advice he could not follow. Post-traumatic nervous condition, the papers said, as if trauma were a condition, as if it could be cured with time and distance and the right words. The papers did not say coward, did not say deserter, did not say murderer. But Lucas knows what he is. A sound breaks his thoughts, hoofbeats, someone riding hard. He steps out of the barn into sunlight that feels like punishment. A rider appears on the eastern trail. Not Anya, not anyone he recognizes. A Mexican man on a tired horse riding like something is chasing him. The man reins up when he sees Lucas. "Señor, the river. Something is wrong with the river." Lucas wipes sweat from his eyes. River's been wrong for months. No, not dry, stopped. Someone has stopped it. That's not possible. The man shakes his head, makes the sign of the cross. "I saw. Big dam. Big, not natural. Someone built it." He points north upstream toward the source. "You should see." Then he rides on carrying his message to whoever will listen. Lucas stands in the yard processing this. Someone built a dam. Someone with resources. Someone with a reason to want the river stopped. Someone like Colonel Jesse Maddox. The name rises in his mind like bile. His former commanding officer. The man who gave the orders. The man who promised Lucas that following those orders would earn him land security a future. The man who lied about everything except the land grant. Lucas goes to his house, straps on his gun belt. The weight of the revolver against his hip feels familiar. Wrong. Necessary. He has not worn it in 6 months. Has not needed to. But if Maddox is here, if Maddox is making moves on the river, he rides north, alone, following the dry riverbed upstream, watching for signs of tampering. The land here is brutal, all rock and scrub and creatures that have learned to live without water. He passes abandoned homesteads, dreams that died when the drought came, fences that lead nowhere now. After an hour, he sees her. Anya stands in the middle of the dry riverbed, digging with a shovel, desperate, furious strokes that send rocks flying. She is trying to reach water that is not there, trying to force the earth to give what it no longer has. Lucas reins his horse, sits for a moment watching. She has not seen him yet, or she has seen him and chosen not to acknowledge his presence. With her, it is hard to tell. He dismounts, leads his horse down into the riverbed. His boots crunch on dry stones. The sound makes her stop digging. She turns. Her rifle leans against a rock 10 feet away, too far to reach before he could draw his gun. They both know this. Neither reaches for a weapon. River's dying, Lucas says, because someone has to say something. Anya's hands tighten on the shovel. And you came to blame me, came to see if you know why. White man's cattle drink it dry. Her voice is flat, factual. Angry in the way that people are angry when they have been angry for so long, it has become their natural state. Your people's drought curse, maybe. He says it without thinking, regrets it immediately. Her eyes flash. My people are dead, or on reservations, or trying to survive on land that white men poisoned and then abandoned when it stopped producing. She plants the shovel in the ground. Whatever water is left is mine. I am upstream. Law says we share. White man's law. She laughs. The sound has no humor in it. Your laws do not apply when convenient. They apply when profitable. There is a difference. Lucas removes his hat, wipes his forehead. The sun is relentless. Look, I am not here to fight. A rider came through. Said someone built a dam upstream, big enough to stop the river. Anya's expression changes, not softening, sharpening. Who? I have an idea, but I need to see it to be sure. Why tell me? Because if I am right, it affects both of us, your land and mine. She studies him. He can see her weighing options, trust or suspicion, cooperation or isolation, the calculations that people make when they have been betrayed too many times to believe in good intentions. Before she can answer, a small voice calls out, "Mama?" Ethan appears at the edge of the riverbed. The boy is flushed, stumbling. He takes 2 steps and collapses. Both adults move at once. Anya reaches him first, gathering him in her arms. Lucas is there a second later, his canteen already in his hand. Heat exhaustion, Lucas says. He needs water. Anya looks at the canteen, at Lucas, at her son's flushed face. Pride wars with necessity. Necessity wins. Give it to me. Lucas hands her the canteen. She pours water on Ethan's face, into his mouth. The boy coughs, swallows, opens his eyes. I am sorry, Mama. I just wanted to help. Hush, drink. Lucas steps back, gives them space. Watches the way Anya's hands shake as she tends her son. The way her jaw is set against showing weakness. The way love and fear make her both fierce and fragile. When Ethan has drunk his fill, he looks at Lucas. Were you a soldier? The question hits like a fist. Used to be. Did you kill Indians? The world stops. Anya stiffens. Lucas feels his throat close. Yes. Did you kill my papa? In the silence that follows, Lucas hears everything. The wind, the cry of a hawk, the beating of his own guilty heart. He could lie, should lie, but the boy deserves truth more than comfort. I do not know. I killed many people in a war that should not have happened. Anya stands, pulls Ethan close. That is enough questions, but the damage is done. The words hang in the desert air. Lucas sees the way Anya looks at him now, not just with suspicion, with knowledge. She knows what he is, what he was. "We need to see that dam," Lucas says quietly. "Whatever is happening upstream affects all of us. Your boy needs water. My cattle need water. We can hate each other after we survive." Anya is quiet for a long moment, then she nods once. "One ride, upstream. Then you stay off my land." "Agreed." They ride together. Lucas on his roan. Anya on a paint mare with Ethan sitting in front of her. The boy keeps looking back at Lucas, not with fear, with curiosity. With the questions that children ask when adults pretend the world is simpler than it is. The riverbed leads them north, through canyon country, past rock formations that have stood for millennia. The land here is old, older than nations, older than the wars men fight over it. Lucas knows this land, served in this territory for 5 years before everything fell apart. After 2 hours of riding, they smell it. Water. Not the dry dust smell they have grown accustomed to, actual water. Moving. Alive. They round a bend and see it. The dam rises 30 feet high. Professional construction. Timber and stone. A massive diversion structure that catches the river and redirects it into a series of metal pipes. The pipes run east, toward the mountains, toward the mining operations that have been expanding in that direction. A sign nailed to a post reads, Crimson Mountain Mining Company, Colonel Retired J. Maddox Proprietor. Lucas stops breathing. Anya reads the sign, looks at Lucas. "You know him." It is not a question. She can see it in his face. The recognition, the fear, the old wounds tearing open. "He was my commanding officer. Fort Huachuca, 1883. Anya's voice goes cold, colder than he has heard it. "Fort Huachuca, where 3rd Cavalry massacred Stone Creek Village." "I was not there. I was." Lucas closes his eyes. "It is complicated." "Liar." She reaches for her rifle. Lucas raises his hands. "Anya, wait. How many—" Her voice shakes. "How many Apache did you kill?" "I do not know. I stopped counting." Ethan starts crying. The sound breaks something in the moment. Anya's finger rests on the trigger. She is shaking. Lucas can see murder in her eyes, can see justice, can see 3 years of grief finding a target. "Your regiment," she says. "Your crime. Stone Creek. That is where they killed my husband." Lucas cannot breathe, cannot speak. The world narrows to this moment, this woman, this gun, this truth he has been running from. Then the world explodes. The dam ruptures, not naturally. Someone set charges, someone who knew they were there, someone who is watching. The explosion tears through the timber supports. Water that has been building up behind the dam for weeks suddenly finds its freedom. Thousands of gallons, tons of pressure. A wall of water and debris that comes crashing down the canyon like the wrath of an angry god. All 3 of them see it at the same instant. The horses scream, "Bolt!" Anya grabs for Ethan, but the paint mare rears. The boy tumbles. Anya jumps after him. Lucas has 1 second to decide. Save himself, or save them. He jumps. The water hits. Cold, violent, furious. Lucas feels it pull him under, feels rocks tear at his skin, feels the current trying to rip him apart. He fights to the surface, gasps air, sees Ethan 10 feet away going under. He swims, every muscle screaming, reaches the boy, grabs his shirt, pulls him up. "Hold on to me!" Ethan clings. Lucas looks for Anya, sees her 50 feet downstream, struggling against the current. She hits a boulder, goes under, does not surface. Lucas has the boy, could make it to shore, could save himself and Ethan and let the water take Anya, let justice serve itself. He does not even hesitate. He swims toward her, one arm holding Ethan, one arm pulling against the current, his boots filled with water, his gun belt drags him down. He does not let go. He reaches the boulder, dives, finds her in the murky water. Her eyes are closed, her body limp. He grabs her shirt, pulls, kicks for the surface. They break into air. Anya coughs. Water pours from her mouth. Her eyes flutter open. "Ethan," she gasps. "I have him. Swim." They fight the current together. 3 people who should be enemies. 3 people who should let each other die. They fight toward a fallen cottonwood tree 20 yards ahead. Branches reaching into the water like salvation. Lucas reaches it first, grabs a branch, it holds. He pulls Ethan onto it, then reaches for Anya. She takes his hand. He pulls her up. They cling to the tree. The water rages around them. Debris smashes past. A dead cow. Timber from the dam. Pieces of someone's life washing away. Slowly the water begins to drop. The initial surge passes. What remains is still dangerous, but no longer immediately fatal. They wait. Hold on. Do not speak, because there is nothing to say. After what feels like hours, but is probably 20 minutes, they are able to wade to shore. They collapse on the bank. Soaked, shaking, bleeding from a dozen cuts. Ethan lies between them, coughing, crying, alive. Lucas and Anya stare at each other across the boy. Water streams from their hair. Mud cakes their clothes. The silence between them is louder than the receding flood. Finally, Anya speaks. Her voice is hoarse. Why? Why what? Why did you come back for me? Lucas looks at his hands. They are shaking. Because I am tired of people dying. You were tired of it at Stone Creek. The question is a blade. Clean, sharp, precisely aimed at the wound that never healed. No, he says. I was following orders at Stone Creek. I was being a good soldier. I was being everything I was trained to be. He looks at her. That is the difference. Then I killed because I was told to. Today I saved you because I chose to. Anya pulls Ethan close. The boy has stopped crying. He watches both adults with wide, frightened eyes. My husband, Anya says. Each word costs her. Proud eagle, what do you remember about him? Lucas closes his eyes, searches his memory, finds the moment he has tried to forget. Tall, wearing a white shirt. He had his hands up. He was speaking. English and Apache. Trying to surrender. What did he say? He said he was a scout for the army. He said he had information about Mexican raiders. He said, Lucas stops, cannot continue. Say it. He said he had a wife. He said she was going to have a baby. He begged for his life, not for himself, for his family. Anya makes a sound, not quite a sob, not quite a scream, something in between. And then Lucas opens his eyes, looks at her, at the woman whose husband he murdered, at the life he destroyed. And then I shot him in the back. The words fall into the space between them like stones into deep water. Anya's face does not change, does not cry, does not rage. She simply stares at him with eyes that have seen too much suffering to show it anymore. You were there, she whispers. You were the one. I was one of many, but yes, I was there. I killed him. Ethan's voice small and confused. Mama, what is happening? Anya does not answer. She stands. Water drips from her dress. She looks down at Lucas still sitting in the mud. You saved my life today. Yes. You killed my husband 4 years ago. Yes. How do I... She stops, starts again. How do I live with that? Lucas has no answer. He pushes himself to his feet. Every muscle aches. Every breath hurts. I have been asking myself the same question for 3 years. How do I live with what I did? How do I wake up each morning knowing I am a murderer? How do I look at myself in the mirror and see anything except a coward who followed orders he knew were wrong? He takes off his gun belt, hands it to her. 1 bullet left. If you want it, take it. I will not stop you. I will not run. You deserve justice. Your husband deserves justice, and I deserve whatever you decide. Anya stares at the gun belt in her hands, at the weapon, at the choice. From somewhere upstream, Ethan's voice calls out, Mama, Mr. Lucas, come quick. They both turn. The boy has wandered to a cluster of rocks. He is pointing at something. His face is pale. They run to him. What Ethan found changes everything. A body, partially buried in mud, wearing the uniform of a mining company guard, dead for several hours at least. But that is not what makes them stare. The man's throat has been cut. Clean. Professional. This was not an accident. This was murder. Scattered around the body are papers, soaked but readable. Lucas picks one up. His hands shake as he reads. Mining claim documents for land that includes both his ranch and Anya's. Dated 1883, the year of the massacre. Filed by J. Maddox. Another document, a letter, addressed to the territorial governor. detailing a plan to remove Apache settlements through military action and then purchase the land cheap from white settlers during the subsequent drought. It was all planned. The massacre, the drought, the land grab. All of it orchestrated by one man. Maddox, Lucas says. He planned everything. Anya is reading another document. A medical report from Fort Huachuca. Her hands begin to shake. Lucas sees her face go white. What is it? She cannot speak. Hands him the paper. It is a hospital record. Patient Apache female, age 22, survivor of Stone Creek incident, treated for gunshot wound, severe trauma, and pregnancy complications resulting from assault during raid. The document lists the patient's name, Anya Proudfoot. Lucas reads it twice, 3 times, understands what it means, looks at Ethan, at the boy who was 7 years old, who would have been conceived 4 years ago during the massacre. He is not Proud Eagle's son, Lucas says quietly. Anya's voice is barely audible. No, he is. After Proud Eagle died, I lost our baby, from the shock, the trauma. But the soldiers, they left something else. Weeks later I knew. I was pregnant again. From the assault. From that night I cannot remember. Ethan is not Proud Eagle's blood, but he is all I have left of that time. The only good thing to come from the worst day of my life. From a night I do not remember, from violence I have spent 7 years trying to forget. She looks at Ethan. The boy is still examining the rocks, oblivious to the conversation. Innocent, loved, the product of the worst moment of her life and the reason she has survived it. Does he know? Lucas asks. No. He thinks Proud Eagle was his father. I let him believe that, because what else could I do? Tell a child he was conceived in horror that his existence is tied to the death of the only father who would have loved him. She turns to Lucas, tears finally coming. You want to know why I hate you, why I hate all of you. This is why. You did not just kill my husband. You killed my future, my baby that I lost from the trauma, my innocence, my belief that the world had room for people like me. Lucas has no words. There are no words for this. He can only stand witness to her pain. Anya wipes her eyes. But you saved him today. You saved the son of your brothers in arms, the child of violence. You saved him even knowing what I planned to do to you. You planned something. She laughs. Bitter. Empty. I planned to poison you, made the mixture that first night, ground the oleander, put it in a vial. Kept it with me every day, waiting for the right moment. But I could not do it. Every time I tried, I saw you jump into that water, saw you save my son, and I could not, painfully, the way my husband died. Lucas processes this, realizes why he has been feeling sick, why his hands shake more than usual. Why are you telling me? Because I cannot do it anymore. I thought revenge would heal something, fill the emptiness. But watching you jump into that water, risk your life for people who hate you, she stops. You are not the monster I needed you to be. From the rocks, Ethan calls out again, Mama, why is there smoke? They both turn. In the distance to the south, a column of black smoke rises into the sky. From the direction of their ranches, someone is burning something. Lucas and Anya exchange one look. Then they are running, back to where they left the horses. The animals are gone, fled in the flood. They have no choice but to run on foot. They run through mud, through water, through exhaustion and injury and pain. Ethan runs between them. Lucas carries him when the boy's legs give out. Anya does not object. It takes them 2 hours to reach a point where they can see clearly. Anya's barn is burning. Lucas's haystack is ablaze. Both fires set deliberately, both designed to destroy the infrastructure they need to survive. Standing on the ridge between the two properties, watching the fires burn, is a figure on horseback. Even at this distance, Lucas recognizes him, Colonel Jesse Maddox, the man who gave the orders, the man who planned it all, the man who is not finished. Maddox raises a hand, a salute, or a wave, or a threat. Then he turns his horse and rides away into the setting sun. Lucas and Anya stand side by side, watching their lives burn, knowing that this is just the beginning. He will not stop, Anya says. Not until he has everything. No, he will not stop. Then we fight. Lucas looks at her, this woman he destroyed, this woman who saved him by choosing mercy, this woman who is stronger than anyone he has ever known. Together, he asks. Anya is quiet for a long moment. Then she extends her hand. Together. They shake. A treaty between enemies. A partnership forged in desperation and fire in the ruins of everything they tried to build alone. Ethan looks up at both of them. Are we going to be okay? Neither adult answers, because they do not know. Because the truth is, they will probably fail. Probably lose everything. Probably die trying. But for the first time in 3 years, Lucas Mercer is not running. And for the first time in 4 years, Anya Proudfoot is not alone. The fires burn through the night. They stand together and watch them. 3 people bound by blood and water, by the crimes of the past and the uncertain hope of survival. Tomorrow, the real fight begins. Tonight, they simply stand. Witness to loss. Committed to something neither of them fully understands yet, but committed nonetheless. The smoke rises into the darkening sky. The stars emerge. The desert holds its breath. And in the distance, the river begins to run again, slower than before, changed by what it has carried. But running, always running. Finding a way through rock and earth and the ruins of human ambition. Water always finds a way. The fires burn until dawn. Lucas and Anya take turns watching, making sure the flames do not spread to the houses, making sure whoever set them does not come back to finish the job. Ethan sleeps between them, wrapped in a blanket salvaged from Anya's house, his small body twitching with dreams that neither adult wants to imagine. When the sun rises, the damage becomes clear in the harsh morning light. Anya's barn is gone, nothing left but blackened timbers and ash. The structure where she kept her tools, her winter hay, her husband's saddle, all of it reduced to carbon and memory. She stands at the edge of the ruins, not crying. Past crying, her face is blank in the way that faces become blank when grief is too large to show. Lucas's haystack is destroyed. 6 months of work. Feed for his cattle through the winter, gone in a night. But the barn still stands, damaged, smoke-stained, but standing. He finds her at her ruins, does not speak. What is there to say? I am sorry feels too small. This will be okay, feels like a lie. Instead, he says, my barn is still good. We can share it. Anya does not look at him. Why would you do that? Because Maddox wants us divided, wants us fighting each other instead of him. And I am tired of giving that man what he wants. She turns finally, studies his face. Looking for lies, for hidden motives, for the 1,000 ways white men have betrayed Apache trust. What do you get from this? A chance to do one thing right, maybe, if we do not kill each other first. Something almost like a smile touches her lips. Then it is gone. Your cattle need water. So do my goats. The river is running again, but low. We ration, share the well, make it last until the monsoons come. If they come, they will come, they always do. You sound certain. Lucas looks at the sky, clear, pitiless, no hint of rain. I am not certain of anything, but I have to believe something or I will go mad. So I believe the rain will come, and I believe we can survive until it does, together. Anya is quiet for a long time, then she nods once. We try, for Ethan, not for each other. For Ethan. They shake on it. The second treaty in 12 hours. Both of them wondering if treaties made in desperation can hold when the desperation fades. Ethan wakes. Sees the destruction. Does not cry. At 7 years old, he has already learned that crying does not rebuild barns or bring back fathers or make the world kind. Instead, he asks, what do we do now? Anya kneels beside him, brushes hair from his face. We work. And they do. The first week is brutal. Lucas shows Anya how to shore up the damaged barn, how to brace the scorched timbers, how to make temporary repairs with materials salvaged from her ruins. She shows him which plants still hold water in their roots, how to find moisture in seemingly dry earth, how to make a little go far. They work side by side, not friends, not yet, but not enemies either, something in between, something without a name. Lucas discovers that Anya is stronger than she looks, can lift beams that most men would struggle with, can work through heat that sends him looking for shade. She never complains, never asks for help, just does what needs doing and then does more. Anya discovers that Lucas knows how to build things that last, that his hands are steady despite the shaking, that he measures twice and cuts once, that he was taught by someone who cared about quality, about legacy. "Who taught you carpentry?" she asks one afternoon. They are framing a new wall for the barn. Sweat runs down both their faces. "My brother, Ethan." She pauses, hammer in mid-swing. "Your brother was named Ethan." "Yes." "The one who died." Lucas does not correct her, not yet. "He was good with his hands, patient. Used to say that wood remembers how you treat it. If you force it, it breaks. If you work with it, it lasts forever. Wise man. He was, until the war made him something else." Anya drives a nail home. 3 solid hits. Perfect placement. War makes us all something else. They work in silence after that, but it is a different silence, not hostile, not comfortable. Just 2 people who understand that some things do not need to be said. On the 4th day, a rider comes. He arrives at noon, official-looking, wearing a suit despite the heat, carrying a leather case that probably cost more than Lucas's ranch. He reins his horse at the property line, does not cross, knows the law too well to trespass. "Lucas Mercer," he calls out. Lucas sets down the saw, wipes his hands. "That is me. My name is Hamilton Briggs, attorney at law. I represent Crimson Mountain Mining Company. I have been instructed to deliver this to you." He produces a document from his case. "And to her." He nods toward Anya, who has stopped working but has not approached. Her rifle leans against the barn. Within reach. Always within reach. Lucas takes the document, unfolds it, reads. His face goes white. "What is it?" Anya asks. Lucas reads it again, hoping he misunderstood, knowing he did not. "It is a notice. Legal challenge to our land deeds. Maddox is claiming that both our properties were obtained through fraud, that the original claims are invalid, that the land reverts to territorial ownership, which he has already filed to purchase." The lawyer speaks from his horse. Calm. Professional. A man delivering bad news as if it were the weather report. "You are both required to appear at Territorial Court in Tucson, 2 weeks from today. Bring your deeds. Bring any documentation of legal ownership. Failure to appear will result in automatic forfeiture. This is theft," Anya says, her voice is level, dangerous. "This is law, ma'am. I suggest you obtain counsel." "With what money?" The lawyer has no answer to this, or does not care to give one. He tips his hat, turns his horse, rides away. Lucas and Anya stand in the yard, the document between them, the future suddenly more uncertain than it was 5 minutes ago. "Can he do this?" Anya asks. "He is doing it. But we have deeds. So did the people he pushed off the land before us. Deeds mean nothing if you cannot defend them, and defense requires lawyers, which require money." Anya crumples the notice in her fist. "I will not leave. This is my land. It is not about leaving. It is about losing. There is a difference." Lucas takes off his hat, runs his hand through his hair. "Maddox knows we cannot afford to fight him. He knows we are alone. He knows that even if we somehow win, the legal fees will destroy us anyway. This is not about the law. This is about power. And he has all of it." "Then what do we do?" Lucas looks at her, at this woman who has lost everything and refuses to lose more, at this mother who would burn the world to protect her son, at this survivor who somehow still has fight left in her. "We find a way to fight, even if I do not know how yet." That night, after Ethan is asleep, Lucas and Anya sit on the porch of his cabin, not her house, his, because hers has only one room and the boy needs privacy, because shared necessity has made them housemates whether they wanted it or not. The stars are bright, no moon, the kind of darkness that makes confidences easier. "Tell me about Stone Creek," Anya says suddenly. Lucas tenses. "Why?" "Because I need to understand. Need to know if the man who killed my husband is the same man sitting beside me now, or if something changed." Lucas is quiet for a long time. Then he begins. "We rode out at dawn, 2 companies, Maddox in command. The orders were to secure hostile Apache and remove them to the reservation. That is what the paperwork said, but Maddox told us different in private. He said there were no hostiles, only obstacles, people in the way of progress. He pauses, swallows, continues. We surrounded the village before they woke. I remember thinking how peaceful it looked. Cook fires starting, women beginning their day, children still sleeping, and we were about to destroy it. Why did you not refuse? Because I was a soldier, because I was trained to follow orders, because I believed that the men in charge knew better than I did. He laughs, no humor in it. Because I was a coward. What happened? Maddox gave the order to advance, to round up the men, separate them from the women and children. Your husband came forward, tried to explain that he was a scout, that he was employed by the army, that he had information about Mexican raiders. Lucas closes his eyes, sees it again, will always see it. Maddox said he was a liar, said all Apache were liars, ordered him detained. Proud Eagle kept talking, kept trying to surrender, kept saying he had a wife, a baby coming, kept begging. And you shot him. Not right away. Maddox pulled me aside, told me this man was a problem, had been asking questions, writing letters to the territorial governor, complaining about unauthorized raids into Mexico, about stolen cattle being blamed on Apache, about army officers getting rich from land they stole. Anya turns to look at him. Proud Eagle was trying to expose Maddox. Yes, and Maddox was trying to silence him. He gave me a direct order. Execute the prisoner. Make it look like he was trying to escape. I asked if he was sure. He said it was a lawful order from a superior officer, that I would hang if I disobeyed. So you killed him. So I killed him. Shot him in the back while he was running toward you, toward the woman he loved. While you were screaming, while the village burned, I killed an innocent man because I was more afraid of the consequences of doing right than I was ashamed of doing wrong. Silence, long and heavy. After, Lucas continues, Maddox ordered us to finish it. Burn everything. Kill anyone who fought back. I did what I was told. Until I saw you. Wounded. Bleeding. Trying to crawl to your husband's body. Maddox pointed at you. Told me to finish the job. Make sure there were no witnesses. But you did not. I put down my rifle. Told him I was done. He said I would be court-martialed. I said fine. Charge me. Arrest me. Do whatever you need to do. But I am not killing any more innocent people today. What did he do? Nothing. Because if he charged me, I would testify. Tell the truth about the orders, about Proud Eagle, about everything. So he let me go, discharged me quietly, gave me a land grant to keep me silent, thought I would take it and disappear and never be a problem again. Lucas opens his eyes, looks at Anya. He was right. I did disappear. I did stay silent. I took his blood money and I built a ranch and I tried to forget. And it worked. For 3 years it worked. What changed? You, Ethan. This. He gestures at the land around them. I thought I could run far enough, but there is no distance great enough to escape what you have done. It follows, it waits, and eventually it finds you. Anya is quiet for a long time, then she speaks. I hated you for 4 years. When I learned you were my neighbor, I thought it was fate giving me a chance for revenge. I planned your death 100 ways. Poison, fire, a bullet in the dark. I dreamed about it, lived for it. Why did you not do it? Because Ethan asked me a question. He said, if you kill the man who saved us, does that make you like the men who killed Papa? And I had no answer, because he was right. Revenge would not bring Proud Eagle back, would not heal anything, would just create more death, more orphans, more women alone. She looks at him. You are not absolved. What you did can never be undone. But you are also not the same man who pulled that trigger. That man would not have jumped into the flood, would not have risked his life for people he barely knows, would not be sitting here confessing instead of running. So what am I? You are a man trying to be better, failing most of the time, but trying. She pauses. That is more than most people do. They sit in silence. Not forgiveness, not quite friendship, but something, a beginning, fragile, uncertain, real. The next morning, everything changes again. A woman rides up to the ranch, alone, on a tired horse. She wears traveling clothes dusty from hard miles. Her face is weathered, beautiful in a worn way. She sees Lucas in the yard and stops. For a long moment, neither speaks. Then Lucas says one word. Isabella. The woman dismounts, walks toward him, stops 10 feet away, studies him with eyes that know him too well. Hello, Lucas. Anya emerges from the barn, sees the woman, sees the way Lucas is standing, frozen, shocked, afraid. Who is this? Anya asks. Isabella turns, looks at Anya, at the Apache woman in her mixed clothing, at the rifle in her hands, at the child peeking from behind her skirts. I am Isabella Cruz, Lucas's wife. The words hit like stones. Anya looks at Lucas. You said your wife was dead. I thought she was. Isabella laughs, sharp, bitter. You thought, or you hoped, Isabella. I can explain. Lucas takes a step toward her. She steps back, keeps distance between them. I thought you were dead, he says. Your sister Mariana wrote to me 2 years ago, said you had died of fever in northern Mexico. I tried to find your grave. She would not tell me where. Isabella's face softened slightly. My sister lied because I asked her to. I told her to write that letter to make you stop looking for me. Why? Because every letter you sent was a reminder of what you did, of the village you helped destroy, of my first husband's family you killed. I could not heal with you reaching for me, so I died, on paper. And you? She looks at him with something between pity and contempt. You let me stay dead, because it was easier than facing what you had cost me. Lucas cannot deny this. Yes, I let you go because you deserved better than a man soaked in blood. I deserved a choice. You took that from me too. Silence, heavy, painful. Then Isabella continues, explain what that you told everyone I died. Explain what? That you told everyone I died, that you let me believe you wanted nothing to do with me, that you ran away and hid in the desert instead of facing what you had done. Ethan speaks up, small voice, confused. Mr. Lucas is married. No one answers. Isabella's eyes find Ethan, soften. Hello, little one. What is your name? Ethan. Something crosses Isabella's face. Recognition, pain. Ethan. That was his brother's name. I know, Mr. Lucas told me. Isabella looks at Lucas. You told them about Ethan. Some. Did you tell them the truth? What truth? Anya asks. Her voice is sharp, suspicious. What is she talking about? Isabella walks closer. Stops when she sees the way Anya's hand tightens on the rifle. His brother is not dead, or was not, last time I saw him. Lucas closes his eyes. Isabella, please. Please, what? Keep your secrets. I kept them for 3 years. Told myself I was protecting you, protecting us. But there is no us anymore. So why should I protect anything? She turns to Anya. Lucas's brother, Ethan Mercer, did not die in the war. He deserted, saved my life during the Stone Creek massacre. I was married to an Apache man, Proud Eagle's cousin. When the cavalry attacked, Ethan pulled me from a burning building, got me out. We fell in love. He faked his death. We ran. Anya takes a step back, processing. Proud Eagle's cousin, you were Apache family. By marriage, yes? And Lucas knew this. Isabella looks at Lucas. Did you know? Lucas opens his eyes. I knew my brother saved someone. Did not know it was you. Did not know you survived. You disappeared. I thought, you thought what was convenient. That I was dead. That your brother was dead. That you could hide from everything and everyone. Isabella's voice breaks. Ethan died 6 months ago. Consumption. Before he died, he made me promise to find you, to give you something. She reaches into her saddlebag, pulls out a leather portfolio, hands it to Lucas. Inside are documents, letters, a deed. Lucas reads. His hands shake. What is it? Anya asks. Lucas's voice is barely audible. It is a land grant, in Ethan's name, for this property, dated 1883. Legal. Legitimate. He was granted this land for service as a scout during the Apache campaigns. He transferred it to me before he died. Why did you not mention this before? Because I did not know. I thought my grant came from Maddox, thought it was payment for silence. But it was not. It was from Ethan. He gave me this land, told the army I served with him, vouched for me, gave me a future even though I betrayed everything he believed in. Isabella's voice is quiet now, sad. He loved you, even after you told him what you did at Stone Creek, even after you stopped answering his letters. He loved you, and he wanted you to have a chance to do better. Lucas sinks to his knees. The documents fall from his hands. He does not cry, cannot, is too broken for tears. Ethan runs to him, wraps small arms around his neck. "Do not be sad, Mr. Lucas." The boy's kindness is what breaks him. Lucas holds Ethan and weeps. For his brother, for the man he killed, for every choice that led him to this moment. Anya picks up the documents, reads them, looks at Isabella. These are legal. Yes, signed, notarized, legitimate. Then Maddox cannot take this land. He can try. But he will have to prove fraud, and there is none. Isabella pulls out more papers. Ethan kept everything, including the original orders for Stone Creek, written orders from Maddox, to eliminate Apache informants, to clear the land for mining claims, to make it look like a military action instead of a land grab. Evidence, Anya breathes, evidence of war crimes, of murder, of conspiracy. Isabella looks at Lucas, still on his knees, still holding Ethan. Your brother kept them as insurance, in case Maddox ever came after him, or you. He knew men like Maddox never stop, never rest, never leave loose ends, so he made sure there was protection, even after death. Anya helps Lucas to his feet. Can we use this in court? Isabella nods. If you are brave enough. Because bringing this to court means exposing everything. Maddox will be arrested. Pero, he is powerful, connected. He will fight. And he will try to destroy anyone who stands against him. Let him try, Anya says. Her voice is steel. I have already lost everything. What more can he take? Lucas wipes his eyes. Looks at the documents. At his brother's handwriting. At the gift he did not deserve but received anyway. Why now? Why bring this now? Isabella meets his eyes. Because Ethan made me promise. He said, my brother is a good man doing bad things because he thinks that is all he deserves. Show him he deserves better. Show him he can fight for something instead of running from everything. She mounts her horse, prepares to leave. Where will you go? Lucas asks. Home, to Mexico, to my family. I came to deliver his last words, to give you what he wanted you to have. But I cannot stay, cannot watch you try to become the man he believed you could be. It would hurt too much. Isabella, I am sorry for everything. I know, and maybe someday that will matter, but not today. She looks at Anya, at Ethan. Take care of him. He is broken, but not beyond repair. My husband believed that. I choose to believe it too. She rides away, does not look back. Lucas watches her go, feels something settle in his chest. Not peace, not forgiveness, but something like purpose. Anya stands beside him. We have evidence, we have legal deeds, we have a chance. We have a war, yes. Maddox will not give up, even with evidence. He has lawyers, money, power, and we have the truth. Lucas looks at her. You think the truth matters in a courtroom? I think it has to, or nothing matters at all. They gather the documents, catalog them, organize them, build their case like soldiers preparing for battle, because that is what this is. Not a legal dispute, a war. Over the next week they prepare. Lucas rides to town, finds a retired circuit judge, an old man who remembers when law meant something, who agrees to look at their documents, who confirms what Isabella said. The evidence is solid. Maddox gave written orders for an illegal military action, murdered a civilian, conspired to steal land. This is enough to hang him, the old judge says, if you can get it in front of an honest court. And if we cannot, then he buries you, and the evidence, and anyone who tries to use it. The judge gives them a name, a lawyer in Tucson, young, idealistic, stupid enough to take a case against a powerful man. Tell him I sent you. Tell him it is important. Tell him, the old man pauses, looks at Lucas. Tell him some fights are worth losing everything for. Lucas and Anya ride back to the ranch, find Ethan teaching the goats tricks, laughing. Being 7 years old in a world that is not kind to children, but sometimes in small moments allows them joy anyway. We leave in 3 days, Lucas tells Anya, for Tucson, for the courthouse. All of us, Ethan needs to see this. Needs to know that sometimes you stand and fight even when you know you might lose. And if we do lose, then we lose together, and we figure out what comes next. Together. Anya nods, reaches out, takes his hand. Not romance, not forgiveness, but solidarity, partnership. Together, she agrees. That night, Lucas cannot sleep. He sits on the porch, watching stars. thinking about his brother, about the gift he left, about the man he was and the man he is trying to become. Anya joins him, brings coffee. They drink in silence. "I never thanked you," she says finally, "for what? For jumping into the water, for saving Ethan, for not running when you had every reason to. I had every reason to stay too. Such as, Lucas thinks about this. I spent 3 years believing I was beyond redemption, that the best I could do was hide, hurt no one else, wait to die. But then I met you, met Ethan, and I realized something. What? That redemption is not about erasing what you did. It is about doing something different now, about choosing better even when better is harder, about standing instead of running." Anya is quiet. Then, Proud Eagle used to say something similar. He said, "The past is a stone you carry. You can drop it and run, or you can use it to build something. Either way, the stone remains. The choice is what you do with it." Wise man. He was. I wish you could have known him, the real him, not the moment you killed him. So do I. They sit. The desert night surrounds them, vast, indifferent, beautiful in its cruelty. "Anya," Lucas says, "no matter what happens at the courthouse, no matter how this ends, I want you to know something." "What? You gave me something I did not think I would ever have again, a reason to fight, a reason to stay, a reason to believe that maybe, just maybe, I can be more than the worst thing I ever did." Anya looks at him, really looks, sees the broken soldier, the guilty man, the person trying desperately to be better. "You already are," she says softly. And for the first time in 3 years, Lucas Mercer believes it might be true. 2 days before they are set to leave for Tucson, riders appear on the horizon. 6 of them, armed, moving with purpose. Lucas grabs his rifle. Anya does the same. Ethan is sent inside with instructions to hide. The riders stop at the property line. Their leader is a man Lucas recognizes, Caleb Stone, Maddox's chief enforcer, a man with a reputation for solving problems with violence. "Lucas Mercer," Caleb calls out. "Colonel Maddox sends his regards and a message. I am listening. Drop the court case. Sign over your deeds. Leave the territory. Do this and you live. You and the woman and the half-breed boy." Anya's rifle comes up. "Call my son that again." Caleb smiles. "Or what you will shoot me. That worked out real well for your people at Stone Creek." Lucas steps forward. "Tell Maddox we will see him in court. Tell him we have evidence, documents, proof of what he did. Tell him he can run or he can face justice. But either way, his time stealing land is over." Caleb's smile fades. "You are making a mistake." "I have made many. This is not one of them. Last chance. We are done talking." Caleb looks at his men, back at Lucas and Anya, calculates odds, decides against action, for now. 2 days, he says. "You have 2 days to change your minds. After that, accidents happen. Fires start. People disappear. The desert is a dangerous place." They ride away. Lucas and Anya lower their rifles, both shaking. Not from fear, from rage. "He threatened Ethan," Anya says. Her voice is ice. "I know. If they touch my son, they will not." "How can you be sure?" Lucas checks his rifle. "Make certain it is loaded, because I will kill any man who tries, and I will do it without hesitation. Without mercy, without the guilt that has paralyzed me for 3 years. That boy is under my protection now, and I protect what is mine." Anya looks at him, sees something in his eyes she has not seen before. Not the broken soldier, not the guilty man, the warrior, the fighter, the person who has decided that some things are worth killing for. "What is yours?" she asks quietly. Lucas meets her eyes. "You, Ethan, this land, this chance to do something right, all of it, mine to protect, mine to fight for, mine to die for if necessary." Something passes between them. Understanding, commitment. Something deeper that neither is ready to name. "Then we go to war," Anya says. "Together. Together." They spend the next 2 days preparing. Lucas teaches Anya to shoot his rifle. She is a natural, steady, focused, unafraid. He teaches Ethan to load the weapons, to take cover, to run if adults tell him to run. Anya teaches Lucas the land, the places to hide, the routes to escape. The ways Apache people survived when the cavalry hunted them. The knowledge passed down through generations who learned that survival sometimes means running and sometimes means standing and always means knowing which is which. On the morning they are set to leave, they wake to find their well poisoned. Someone came in the night, dumped something toxic into the water, the well that sustained them, the well that was their backup if the river failed again. Destroyed. Lucas stares at the oily sheen on the water's surface, smells the chemical taint, knows what this is, knows who did it. Maddox, Anya says, flat, certain. He wants us to know, wants us afraid, wants us to understand what we are up against. Does he think we will quit? Lucas looks at her, at Ethan beside her, at the land stretching behind them, at everything they have built in 2 weeks of working together. He does not know us very well, does he? Anya almost smiles. No, he does not. They pack what they need. Food, water from the river, clothes, documents, weapons, everything that matters fits in 2 saddlebags and a small trunk. Ethan climbs onto Anya's horse. Lucas mounts his. They turn toward Tucson, toward the courthouse, toward the fight that will determine everything. As they ride away from the ranch, Lucas looks back once, sees the cabin his brother paid for, the barn he rebuilt with Anya, the land that has become more than property, has become purpose. We will come back, he says. Anya follows his gaze. You sound certain. I am, because if we do not, it means we died trying. And if we died trying, we died for something. That is more than I have had in 3 years. More than I have had in 4. They ride south, 3 people bound by blood and water, by evidence and hope, by the fragile belief that sometimes truth matters, sometimes justice wins, sometimes the broken can be made whole. Behind them, the ranch stands empty, waiting, holding its breath. Ahead of them, Tucson rises from the desert, a city of law and power and men who have never lost anything they wanted to keep. Maddox is waiting. They know this. Know he has lawyers, judges, power. Know he will use every advantage. But they have something he does not. They have truth. They have each other. They have nothing left to lose. And people with nothing left to lose are the most dangerous people in the world. The courthouse looms on the horizon. A building where futures are decided, where justice is supposed to live, where they will discover if it still does. Lucas and Anya ride side by side, not talking, not needing to, understanding that what comes next will test everything they have built, everything they have become. Ethan rides between them, safe, loved, unaware that in 3 days the world will try to take everything from them again, but not without a fight. Never again without a fight. The sun climbs higher. The desert stretches endlessly. The river runs somewhere behind them, finding its way through rock and earth. Water always finds a way, and so will they. Tucson rises from the desert like a promise the land could not keep. Adobe buildings crowd together, streets choke with dust and commerce, and the smell of too many people living too close. After weeks in the open country, the city feels like a trap. They arrive 2 days before the hearing. Find a boarding house that will take Apache money. The landlady eyes Anya with open suspicion, eyes Ethan with something worse. But she takes their coins and shows them to a small room with 2 narrow beds and a window that overlooks an alley where dogs fight over scraps. Lucas pays for the room next door. Propriety demands separate quarters, or maybe just the appearance of propriety. The walls are thin enough that he can hear Ethan asking questions, Anya answering in her patient way. The sounds of a mother and son preparing for sleep. He lies on his bed, stares at the ceiling, does not sleep. Tomorrow they meet the lawyer. Tomorrow they learn if their evidence is enough. Tomorrow they discover if truth matters in a world built on lies. He thinks about his brother, about Ethan, who saved Isabella, who gave him this chance, who believed in redemption even when Lucas had stopped believing in anything. He thinks about the man he killed, Proud Eagle, who died begging for a life he would never live, a child he would never hold, a future that died with him in the dust. He thinks about the woman in the next room, about how hate became alliance, became something he does not have a name for yet. Sleep does not come. He rises before dawn, steps into the hallway, finds Anya there, also awake, also dressed, also unable to rest while the future hangs uncertain. "Could not sleep?" she asks. "No." "Me either." They walk. Through the quiet streets, past buildings just beginning to wake, past early risers and late drinkers and people whose lives do not depend on what a judge decides in 2 days. They find themselves at the courthouse, a grand building, territorial pride made manifest in stone and wood and the promise of justice. It looks impressive in the dawn light, official, permanent, intimidating. "Big," Anya says. "Yes." "Do you think we can win?" Lucas looks at the building, at the steps where lawyers in fine suits will argue over land and law and lives. "I think we have to try." They return to the boarding house, find Ethan awake, hungry, uncertain in the way children are when they sense adult worry but do not understand its source. "Is today the day?" he asks. "Not yet," Anya says. "Today we meet our lawyer. Tomorrow is the hearing. What happens if we lose?" Neither adult answers right away. Finally, Lucas kneels beside the boy. "If we lose, we find another way. We do not give up. We never give up. Understand?" Ethan nods, brave, trusting, 7 years old and already learning that the world is not fair but you fight anyway. They walk to the lawyer's office, a small building on a side street, paint peeling, sign faded. Not the kind of place that inspires confidence. Lucas checks the address 3 times. This is it. Inside, they find a young man drowning in paperwork, 25 at most, ink-stained fingers. Cheap suit, eyes that have not yet learned cynicism. "Mr. Garrett," he asks. "Mrs. Proudfoot." "Yes." "I am Benjamin Ashford. Judge Harris sent word you were coming." He gestures to chairs. "Please, sit. Tell me everything." They tell him. Lucas speaks first, about Stone Creek, about the orders, about shooting an unarmed man, about Maddox's conspiracy. His voice does not shake. He has told this story enough now that it has become almost bearable. Anya speaks next, about her husband, about the massacre, about surviving, about the years alone, about the land that is hers by right, and grief and refusal to disappear. Benjamin listens, takes notes. His face grows paler as the story unfolds. When they finish, he sets down his pen. "This is worse than I thought." "Worse how?" Lucas asks. "Colonel Maddox is powerful, connected. He has 3 lawyers on retainer, all excellent, all ruthless." Benjamin picks up a document. "They filed a brief yesterday, 40 pages, arguing that your deeds are fraudulent, that Apache cannot own land, that you, Mr. Garrett, obtained your property through false pretenses." "We have evidence," Anya says. "Show me." They produce Isabella's documents, the letters, the orders, Ethan's land grant, the transfer of deed, everything. Benjamin reads. His hands start to shake. This is proof of war crimes. Yes. If this becomes public, Maddox will be arrested, tried, probably hanged. That is the idea. Benjamin looks at them, at these 2 broken people asking him to take on a powerful man. "You understand what you are asking. Maddox will destroy anyone who threatens him. Lawyers, witnesses, anyone." "He already tried," Lucas says. "Burned our buildings, poisoned our well, threatened our son, your son." They both pause, look at each other, some silent communication passing between them. "Yes," Anya says. "Our son." Benjamin does not question this. Perhaps he sees the truth. Perhaps he chooses not to. Either way, he nods. "I will take the case, but I need you to understand something. Presenting this evidence will expose everything. Your past, her past, the boy's parentage, all of it will become public. Are you prepared for that?" Lucas and Anya exchange another look, then both nod. "We are prepared," Lucas says. They spend the rest of the day preparing. Benjamin drills them on questions, on what to say, what not to say, how to remain calm when Maddox's lawyers attack. "They will try to discredit you," Benjamin warns. "Call you a deserter, a squaw, a half-breed. They will use every ugly word they can find." "Let them," Anya says. "Words are just words. The truth is in the documents." Benjamin nods. "There is one more thing. I sent word to the territorial sheriff, asked if he knew anything about Stone Creek, about Maddox." And Lucas asks. He said he would look into it, but his response was strange. Strange how... Benjamin pulls out a telegram, reads it aloud. Cannot discuss Stone Creek matters in writing. Will attend hearing. Bring certain documents. Sheriff W. Cooper. Lucas frowns. Cooper, that name sounds familiar. Should it? I do not know, maybe. Lucas shakes his head. There were a lot of men at Stone Creek. I did not know all their names. Anya looks at the telegram. Why would a sheriff have documents about a military action from 20 years ago? Good question, Benjamin says. I asked. He would not answer, just said he would be there, that he had information relevant to the case. Can we trust him? Anya asks. I do not know, but if he has evidence that helps us, does it matter? Lucas is quiet. Something about the name Cooper tugs at his memory. A young private. Nervous. One of the men who looked sick after the village burned, but he cannot be sure, cannot remember clearly through the haze of guilt and time. We will see, he says finally, if he shows up, if he has anything useful. Night falls. They return to the boarding house. Eat a meal none of them taste. Try to prepare Ethan for what comes tomorrow. There will be people, Anya tells him. Lots of people. They will say things, mean things. About me, about Mr. Lucas, about you. Why? Because they are afraid. Because the truth scares them more than lies. What should I do? Sit quietly. Be brave. Remember that we love you, no matter what anyone says. Ethan thinks about this. Then asks the question that cuts deepest. Will they take us away from each other? Lucas answers before Anya can. No, they will try, but they will fail. I promise you that. It is a promise he has no right to make. But he makes it anyway, because some promises are worth making even when you cannot be sure you can keep them. The morning of the hearing arrives cold and clear. They dress in their best clothes, which are not much. Lucas in a shirt Anya mended. Anya in a dress that blends Apache and white styles. Ethan in clothes too small because children grow and money is scarce. They walk to the courthouse together. A small family that is not a family. Not yet. Maybe never, but something. The courtroom is packed. News has spread. An Apache woman and a former cavalry scout challenging Colonel Maddox. It is the kind of spectacle that draws crowds. Maddox sits at the plaintiff's table. Flanked by his 3 lawyers, he wears a fine suit. Silver hair perfectly groomed, every inch the respectable businessman. He does not look at Lucas, does not acknowledge Anya. They are beneath his notice, until Isabella walks in. She appears at the back of the courtroom, dressed in black, mourning clothes. Every eye turns to her. Whispers ripple through the crowd. Maddox sees her. His face goes white. Lucas half rises. Isabella. She nods to him, takes a seat in the public gallery, waits. The judge enters. Horace Stern, old, severe. A man who has seen every trick lawyers can play and is tired of all of them. He sits, bangs his gavel once. This court is now in session. Case of Crimson Mountain Mining Company versus Lucas Garrett and Anya Proudfoot. Counselors, are you ready? Maddox's lead lawyer stands, tall, confident, expensive. Ready, Your Honor. Benjamin stands, young, nervous, determined. Ready, Your Honor. Proceed. The first hour is brutal. Maddox's lawyers present their case with surgical precision. They argue that Lucas's deed is fraudulent, that it was obtained through his brother's false identity, that Ethan Mercer died in 1884, that any subsequent documents are forgeries. They argue that Anya has no legal standing, that Apache cannot own property, that her presence on the land is squatting, that she should be removed to the reservation immediately. They argue that both defendants are liars, frauds, opportunists trying to profit from legal technicalities. Benjamin counters each point, but he is outmatched. The crowd can sense it. The judge's expression grows more skeptical. Then Benjamin stands. Your Honor, I call Isabella Cruz to the stand. The courtroom erupts. Maddox's lawyers object. The judge overrules. Isabella takes the stand. Benjamin approaches her gently. Mrs. Cruz, please state your relationship to the defendants. I was married to Lucas Garrett. I am the widow of Ethan Mercer. More gasps, more whispers. Ethan Mercer. The man who supposedly died in 1884. He did not die in 1884. He died 6 months ago, in my arms, of consumption. Why did people think he died earlier? Isabella looks at Maddox. Because he faked his death to escape court-martial for desertion. Why did he desert? Because he could not follow orders anymore, not after Stone Creek. Benjamin produces a document. Is this your late husband's handwriting? Isabella examines it. Yes. Please read it to the court. Isabella's voice is steady, clear. She reads Ethan's letter about saving her from the burning village, about falling in love with an Apache woman, about giving his brother the land, about keeping evidence of Maddox's crimes as insurance. When she finishes, the courtroom is silent. Benjamin steps back, looks at the judge. Your Honor, the defense has one more witness, someone who can corroborate every word of Mrs. Cruz's testimony. He turns to the gallery. I call Sheriff Wade Cooper to the stand. The courtroom erupts in whispers. Lucas turns, sees Sheriff Cooper standing at the back of the room, the man who has been sympathetic but silent, the man who never quite met Lucas's eyes in town. Cooper walks forward. Lucas's breath catches. The face. Older, weathered by 20 years, but he knows it now. The young private who vomited after the village burned, who looked at Lucas with horror when he shot Proud Eagle, who disappeared from the regiment 6 months later. Cooper's eyes meet Lucas's. A moment of recognition passes between them. Two men who carry the same shame, who ran from the same crime, who are finally standing to face it. Cooper nods once, an acknowledgement, then turns to the judge. His face is pale. His hands shake as he takes the oath. Benjamin approaches gently. Sheriff Cooper, were you at Stone Creek? Yes, sir. In what capacity? Private Wade Cooper, 3rd Cavalry, under Colonel Maddox's command. Gasps ripple through the courtroom. Maddox's face goes white. What were your orders? Cooper pulls a worn leather journal from his jacket. I kept a record, started the day after Stone Creek, wrote down every order, every action, every illegal thing we did. His voice breaks. I told myself someday I would have the courage to report it. Took me 20 years to find it. Why now? Cooper looks at Lucas, at Anya, at Ethan. Because I am tired of being a coward. Because these people are fighting the battle I should have fought years ago. Because my children asked me what I did in the war and I could not tell them the truth. But I can tell it now. He opens the journal, reads, dates, names, orders to burn villages, orders to execute prisoners, orders to falsify reports, 20 years of crimes in Maddox's handwriting and Cooper's witness. When he finishes, the courtroom is silent. Even Maddox's lawyers have nothing to say. The judge takes the journal, reads. His face grows darker with each page. Benjamin produces more documents. Are these the orders Ethan kept? Yes. From whom? Colonel Jesse Maddox. Benjamin hands them to the judge. Your Honor, these are written orders, signed by Colonel Maddox, ordering the execution of Proud Eagle, an Army scout, a civilian informant, ordering the destruction of Stone Creek Village, not for military necessity, but to clear land for mining claims. The judge reads. His face grows darker with each page. Maddox's lawyers scramble. Object. Argue the documents are forgeries. Argue they are irrelevant. Argue anything to stop this. The judge silences them. I will decide relevance. Continue, Mr. Ashford. Benjamin calls Lucas to the stand. Lucas swears his oath, sits, looks at Maddox for the first time. Mr. Garrett, were you at Stone Creek? Yes. Did you follow Colonel Maddox's orders? Yes. Did you shoot Proud Eagle? The courtroom holds its breath. Yes, I shot him in the back while he was trying to surrender, while he was begging for his life, while his wife watched. Someone in the gallery gasps. Lucas does not look, keeps his eyes on Benjamin. Why did you shoot him? Because Colonel Maddox ordered me to. Because Proud Eagle knew about illegal activities, about unauthorized raids, about land theft, because he was going to report it, and Maddox needed him silenced. Did you want to shoot him? Lucas is quiet for a long moment. No, but I did it anyway, because I was a coward. Because I was more afraid of disobeying orders than I was ashamed of murder. Maddox's lawyers attack. Call Lucas a liar, a deserter, a man with no credibility. They tear into him. Question his every word. Try to break him. Lucas does not break. He admits everything, every crime, every failure, every moment of cowardice. And in admitting it, he takes away their power. Then Anya takes the stand. She swears her oath, sits with her back straight, her head high. Benjamin is gentle with her. Mrs. Proudfoot, where were you on the day of the Stone Creek massacre? In my home, with my husband. What happened? Soldiers came. At dawn. We tried to surrender. My husband went to meet them. To explain he worked for the army. They shot him. Who shot him? She looks at Lucas. He did. The courtroom erupts again. The judge calls for order. And yet you are here. Together. Why, Anya's answer is quiet. Powerful. Because hate is easy. Forgiveness is hard. And I am tired of easy. Tired of hate. Tired of letting men like Maddox destroy everything I love. She looks at Maddox. You ordered the massacre, not for war, for profit. You killed my husband, destroyed my village, created orphans and widows so you could steal land, and you thought you would never answer for it. Thought you were too powerful, too protected. She leans forward. You were wrong. Maddox stands, cannot help himself. She is a savage, a liar. She has no right to speak to me that way. The judge's gavel cracks like thunder. You will sit down, Colonel Maddox, and you will be silent, or I will have you removed. Maddox sits, but his composure is cracking. Benjamin presents the final evidence, the land deeds, the transfers, the documentation showing that Ethan's grant was legal, that his transfer to Lucas was legitimate, that Anya's claim, while complicated, is supported by testimony and evidence. Your Honor, Benjamin says, the defense rests. But I move for immediate arrest of Jesse Maddox on charges of conspiracy to commit murder, illegal military action, and fraud. The courtroom explodes. Maddox's lawyers are on their feet, objecting, arguing, demanding dismissal. The judge raises his hand. Silence falls. I have heard enough. Mr. Maddox, stand. Maddox stands, still proud, still certain he will win, because he has always won. The evidence presented today is disturbing, shocking. If true, it represents crimes of the highest order, crimes that demand investigation, immediate investigation. He looks at the marshal standing at the back of the room. Marshal Brennan, please place Colonel Maddox under arrest pending investigation of war crimes. The marshal moves forward. Maddox backs away. You cannot do this. I have friends, connections. The governor himself will hear about this. I am sure he will, the judge says, and I am sure he will be as horrified as I am. Marshal, do your duty. They take Maddox away. He screams threats, promises revenge, swears they will all pay. The courtroom watches him go, a powerful man reduced to a criminal in handcuffs. The judge turns to Lucas and Anya. As for your land claims, I am granting provisional ownership pending final review of all documentation. You may return to your properties. You may continue to work the land. And you may rest assured that as long as I am on this bench, no one will take it from you through fraud or force. He bangs his gavel. This court is adjourned. They stand outside the courthouse, stunned. Benjamin shakes their hands. You won. You actually won. Lucas looks at Anya. We won. Together. Together. Isabella approaches. I am leaving now, going home. But I wanted to say, she pauses, searching for words. Ethan would be proud of both of you, of what you built from all that broken. She kisses Lucas's cheek, touches Anya's hand, kneels to look at Ethan. Be good, little one. Your family needs you. Then she is gone. They return to the boarding house, pack their few belongings, prepare for the ride home. That night, after Ethan is asleep, Lucas and Anya sit together one last time in the city. What happens now? Anya asks. We go home. We rebuild. We survive. Is that enough? Lucas looks at her. Really looks. Sees not the widow of the man he killed, not the Apache woman society wants erased. Just Anya, strong, brave, beautiful in her refusal to break. No, he says, it is not enough. Then what? I do not know, but I know I want to find out, with you, if you will have me. Anya is quiet for a long time. You killed my husband. I did. I poisoned you. You did. We should hate each other. We should. But we do not? No, we do not? She takes his hand, rough, scarred, a hand that has killed and built and saved. I do not know if I can love you the way I loved him. Maybe never. I am not asking for that. What are you asking for? A chance. To build something. Not perfect, not easy, but real. With you. With Ethan. with whatever time we have left. Anya looks at their joined hands. He asked me something. Ethan. He asked if you were going to be his father. What did you tell him? I told him I did not know, but that I hoped so. Because he needs a father, and you need a son. And maybe we all need each other. Lucas feels something break open in his chest, something that has been locked tight for 3 years. I would be honored to try, to be what he needs, what you need, even if I fail. You will fail, many times, I know. And I will be difficult, angry, slow to trust. I know that too. But you still want to try? Yes. Anya stands, pulls him to his feet, looks up at him, then try. She kisses him. Not passionate, not desperate, just a kiss. Simple, honest, a beginning. When she pulls away, tears run down her face. I do not know if this is right. If Proud Eagle would forgive me, if I can forgive myself. You do not need his forgiveness, or mine, or anyone's. You survived. You protected your son. You fought for justice. That is enough. Is it? It has to be, or nothing is. They stand together, two broken people, trying to be whole. The gun is still pointed. Has been for 10 seconds, 20, a lifetime. Lucas's hand shakes, not from fear, from the weight of choice. Do it, Anya says again. If you cannot live with what you did, end it. I will tell Ethan you were brave. That is more than you deserve. Lucas looks at her. This woman he destroyed, this woman he saved, this woman he has come to love. No, he says. No, I will not give you that. Will not take the easy way. Will not run any more. He lowers the gun. You want justice, I will live. I will raise that boy. I will spend every day trying to be worthy of the mercy you showed me. That is my punishment. That is my penance. Anya stares at him. Then slowly she takes the gun from his hand. You are right, she says. Death is too easy. Living is harder. She empties the bullets into her palm, hands them back to him. Live then, for Ethan, for me, for the man my husband would have wanted you to become. Lucas takes the bullets. His hands no longer shake. Inside the house, Ethan calls again. Mama, Papa, are you coming? Papa. The boy called him Papa. Anya turns toward the house, stops, looks back. Are you coming? She asks. Lucas follows her inside. The gun left behind on the porch rail. Empty. Harmless. A weapon that will never fire again. 6 months later. Spring comes to the Arizona Territory with rain that turns the desert green. The San Pedro River runs full and strong. The land remembers how to live. Lucas and Anya's ranch has changed. The fence line between properties is gone, removed. One ranch now, one family. They rebuilt the barn together, bigger than before, strong enough to last decades. In the loft, Ethan has a space for himself, full of carved animals Lucas makes on long evenings, full of beadwork Anya creates when her hands need something beautiful to hold. The cattle are thriving. The garden is growing. They have chickens now, goats, a new horse for Ethan, who is learning to ride like Apache and work like a rancher. Lucas wakes to morning light, Anya beside him, not in separate rooms anymore, not separate lives, together, in the way that people are together when they choose it every day, despite every reason not to. She stirs, opens her eyes. Morning? Morning. Sleep well, better than I have in years. It is true. The nightmares still come, probably always will, but less often. And when they do, he wakes to find her there, solid, real, proof that some things can be built from ruins. They rise, dress, walk out to the porch together. Ethan is already awake, teaching the new foal tricks, laughing, being 8 years old now, growing, healing, learning that families can be made from choices as much as blood. Papa, he calls. Uses the word easily now, naturally. Come see, he is learning to bow, Papa. Lucas's throat tightens every time he hears it. He walks over, watches Ethan work with the foal, patient, kind, teaching the way Lucas taught him. Anya joins them. They stand together, watching their son, their land, their future taking shape. News came yesterday, Anya says, while you were in town. What news? Maddox was sentenced, 20 years, hard labor. Lucas nods. Justice. Imperfect. But justice nonetheless. There is more. The territorial government is reviewing all land claims from the Stone Creek era, trying to return property to Apache families if they can find them. Will you claim anything? Anya is quiet. I have what I need. Here, this, you. She takes his hand. He squeezes back. They watch Ethan train the foal, watch the sun climb higher, watch their world exist in this moment of peace they fought so hard to create. Do you regret it? Lucas asks. Choosing this, choosing me, Anya considers. Every day. And yet you stay. Every day. Why? She looks at him. Because regret is not the same as wrong. I regret that I had to lose Proud Eagle to find you, regret the pain it took to get here, regret the scars we both carry, but I do not regret this. Us, what we are building. Lucas pulls her close. She leans into him. They stand like that. Two people who should be enemies, who became allies, who became something more. I love you, Lucas says. First time he has said it. I know I have no right. No, it does not erase anything. But I do. Love you. Anya is silent for a long moment. Then, I know, and maybe someday I can say it back, but not yet. I can wait. Can you? For you forever. She turns in his arms, looks up at him. You are a fool, Lucas Mercer. Probably. A broken fool who does not deserve what he has. Definitely. But you are my fool, and I choose you every day. Even when it is hard. Even when I remember. Even when it hurts. I choose you. That is enough. Is it? It is more than I dreamed possible. They kiss. Gentle. Familiar now. The kiss of people who know each other's scars and choose to touch them tenderly anyway. Ethan runs over. Can we go to the river? I want to see if the fish are back. Lucas looks at Anya. She nods. Let us go, Lucas says. They walk together, the three of them, through land that tried to kill them, past ruins they rebuilt, toward water that nearly drowned them and now sustains them. The river runs clear and strong. Fish flash silver in the current. Ethan wades in, laughing, splashing, being a child in a world that is finally safe enough for childhood. Lucas and Anya sit on the bank, watching him, holding hands. He asked me something, Anya says, about his real father, about the soldier. Lucas tenses. What did you tell him? The truth, that I do not know who, that it does not matter, that the man who raises him is his father. Blood is not the only thing that makes a family. How did he take it? He said he already knew, that he has always known, but that you are his papa anyway, because you chose to be. Lucas feels tears on his face, does not hide them. I did choose him, choose you, choose this, every day. It is the only choice that has ever mattered. They sit by the river, watching the water flow, watching their son play, watching their lives unfold in ways they never could have predicted. The past is still there, always will be. Proud Eagle's memory, the massacre, the crimes, the guilt, the grief. But the past is not all there is. There is also this. Mourning by the river, a child laughing, two people who should hate each other choosing love instead. It is not perfect. Will never be perfect, but it is theirs, and it is enough. Anya leans her head on Lucas's shoulder. Tell me a story. About what? About us. About how we got here. You know the story. You lived it. Tell me anyway. Tell me the version where it all makes sense, where all the pain had purpose, where we were always meant to end up here. Lucas thinks, then begins. Once there was a soldier who forgot how to be human, and a woman who refused to forget, and a river that ran dry and then ran full again. And in the space between dry and full, between forgetting and remembering, they found each other. Not because fate demanded it, but because they chose it. Every day, despite everything, they chose each other. Is that the end? Anya asks. No, it is just the beginning. Good. They watch the river, watch the water flow over stones, around obstacles, always moving, always finding a way. Water always finds a way. And so did they. Through blood and fire and flood and court and every obstacle the world could throw at them, they found their way to this moment, this family, this peace. Not perfect peace, not easy peace, but peace nonetheless. The sun climbs higher, the desert blooms, the river sings its ancient song. And on the bank, three people who should not be family become one anyway. by choice, by effort, by the stubborn refusal to give up on each other. Lucas Mercer, who learned that redemption is not about erasing the past, but about building a different future. Anya Proudfoot, who learned that survival is not enough when you can have life instead. And Ethan, who learned that families are made from love and choice and the daily decision to stay. They sit together by the water, not running anymore, not hiding, not alone. Together, finally. Forever. Home. The end.